Hi, and welcome to week 4 of reading the Psalms for Faith Friday. We're on Psalms number 4. This is actually a psalm from David. It is an evening prayer. And there's a lot going on here too, so let's just read it. To the choir master with stringed instruments, a psalm of David. So David's given choir master this psalm for the people to sing. Answer me when I call, O God, my righteousness. You have given me relief when I was in distress. Be gracious to me and hear my prayer. O men, how long shall my honor be turned into shame? How long will you love vain words and seek after lies? Selah. But know that the Lord has set apart the godly for himself. The Lord hears when I call to him. Be angry and do not sin. Ponder in your own hearts on your beds and be silent. Silent. Offer right sacrifices and put your trust in the Lord. There are many who say, who will show us some good? Lift up the light of your face upon us, O Lord. You have put more joy in my heart than they have when their grain and wine abound. In peace I will both lie down and sleep, for you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. So right here where he's talking about in the evening, he's going to lay down and sleep. So that's where the evening prayer part of it comes in. So I've been using this book as we've been going through the Psalms. It's a really good book. And this week I've used it definitely for this particular Psalms. So I got all this writing, but let me get it there. So this is a crisis psalm, and David is still talking about not really his enemies, because what I found later on is that, let's see, there are about 60 laminate psalms. This is only one of 3 that do not mention an enemy. No impending attack, only verbal opposition. So David's not talking about the enemy. He is still distressed and asking God for help. And then if you come down to the way that David calls God by his name, God's personal name of Yahweh, and that also is from God's own mouth, that means I am, which was in Exodus 3:13 through 15, when Moses asked, who should I say you are? And God says, I am. And he uses Yahweh. So David speaks of the upper class leaders losing faith in him and God. So, you got all the normal people, the lower class, but then you've got the ruling class that are in leadership, and when they start doubting the king, then everybody else starts doubting. And one of the things that I found in reading the Old Testament, even the New Testament, is that in the ancient Near East, the kings were seen as being responsible for the droughts, for the winning of battles, and for basically everything, because, like David, is God's appointed king. So he has a covenant with God. So the pagan kings were also seen as dealing with the gods. And I say gods because there were more than one. All the king needed to do was ask God for the pagan gods, and depending on if God favored the king at that time, meant a prayer was answered or not. So the people saw the king as being the one that was communicating with God. There wasn't a communication, but like we have in the evangelical beliefs or evangelical religion. When Martin Luther came along, he said that we did not need someone to intercede for us like the Catholics, because we have a direct we have a direct connection with God, and that's through Jesus. So we do not need somebody to go and talk to God like the people of the ancient Near East. They would send their high priest, or in this case, the king, after God appointed David as the king, to talk to God and say, well, why are you not sending us rain, or why are our crops failing? So the historical context was a drought. So you can see Baal in the Old Testament. I didn't look up some of the verses. I should have. I'll try and put it down here in the description, or in the little lower part of the screen. So Baal is a Canaanite storm god. And when the Israelites felt like God was ignoring the king and ignoring David's pleas for the rain, they decided, oh, well, let's turn and go to this other God and praise him and idolize him, because he's the Canaanite storm god. He's the one that brings the rain and the clouds and nourishes the plants and the crop and the harvest. It is often easy to turn to the wrong conclusion and lose faith in God, especially when the world had all the false gods. And that's the ancient Near East is when I was saying that, but that does also include today. So I'm going to put ancient Near East and today, because we ask God for rain, for help with financial problems, or help with our kids, whatever you can think of, we're asking God for. And when he doesn't answer us when we think it's time, we turn to other ways of doing it, and thinking, oh, well, we can get food and rain from over here, from this so-called company or God. I mean, it's just another name for the pagan gods. So we just need to remember, even in our times of doubt, remind ourselves that God is still listening. God is there. And don't turn to these pagan gods, because that is losing trust in our God, Yahweh, the great I am. So I hope that you guys really kept up with this today. I'm kind of all over the place. It's been a little bit of a rough week, but we're getting there. So definitely read this book. The library may have it. I'm thinking this is on Kindle also, but it's got a lot of great information that gives you the historical context of what was going on in the Psalms when they were written, and how they could be related to today. So I thought I would just do a little quick walk through, or share with what I've got going on this week as far as work. I did share this, how to make the accordion file folder, on Monday's video, I believe. So I have 2 of these. But then I have some new kits coming out in October. So we have a Victorian sewing theme. And this time I increased the width of this. This is about a little, half an inch, whereas this one is 1 inch. So it gives me more room. I have 4 dividers in this one. This one has 10. And you can see I've got different prints in there. And I'm putting the printables up so that you can make these. So they'll be there in the next week or so. I think I may have this one already up. I know I have the Whispers of Fall up. So again, there's 10 pages. You get in the kit, you get all these little tags. There's different ones, I think. I had some different ones. There they are. And then you also get some little tabs. And these come together real quick once you get started and you figure out how everything's going. I did put lace right here, which I did not, well, I did do it on these, so I'm sure that you guys seen that. But if not, go back and check that video out where I did the sunflower ones. So this one I've had done for a while, but I made it out of scrapbook paper. And all of these do have just a little Velcro closure, but you can see I just used basically the same kind of pattern that I did for these. This one's just bigger because I had bigger paper. So then the other two that I'm working on are these. I have, like I said, I'm doing sewing next month, so we got this sewing kit that's coming out. And then I have a Mended with Gold Kintsugi sewing kit that I have that should have up by the first of the month. And this is one of the little accordion things. I haven't got these here in yet, the dividers. So then I did went back and I worked on one for the Peace of God. So I'm going to work on the kits that I already have up as to adding these as extra add-ons. These here, the little envelope is an extra add-on. And then when I get it all together, I'm going to have bundles so that you can get everything at one time, or you may only want the accordion folder, so you can get that and not pay as much. It'll be cheaper. But this is what I've been working on this week in between running around. Let me know what you think of them, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.